Okay, just operating the Volvo joystick on these twin D6 stern drives on the Beneteau 44 GT. Got a bow thruster as well, just didn't really feel the need to use it. And we're just going to take this boat straight out of this bay and get her on the plane and show you what she's all about. The joystick is quite easy to operate. It's just aft of the throttle here. I'm in the seated position right now. If you were coming into a marina and felt the need or desire to move around to increase your visibility, obviously the joystick is going to make that a little bit easier. So you can do things like flip the bolster up and drive like this and have good visibility back that way, or drive like this, and it really does make a difference if you're new to boat parking, so to speak. So got a bit of wind today. Let's get out of here. So I'm going to transition from joystick in a second to throttles, and we'll just get this boat up on the plane. As I said, we've got the twin D6 Volvos. I'm going to close that window so you can hear me on the microphone. They've got about 482 hours on the motors, fully serviced, receipts available, electronic throttles, which I'm going to transition to at the moment, and I've got the trim tabs operated just here. The dash itself provides an analog display for both motors on either side. Your bow thrusters in the middle. You've got your Raymarine E120 chart plotter centrally mounted. Autopilot to port, chain counter to starboard of the helm, and then all my individual boat systems. So all my individual switches from anchor operation to bilge pumps, battery parallel, windscreen wipers, a water pressure, etc., and a VHF and a stereo control just here. We also got some drink holders, a little phone charging area here, and quite a convenient little spot on starboard for putting bits and things, but you've also got emergency fuel cutoff. Yeah, fair amount of wind. I'd say that's 20 plus knots whipping through the waterway just here. We've just come out of Akuna Bay today. Beautiful spot, great spot up here to enjoy a boat like this, because you've just got so much national park. It's really epic. It's quite stunningly beautiful, and there's just nobody about. So a boat like this, take your partner, take your family, deploy the tender out of the tender garage. We'll show you cut to some shots of that, because it's just so convenient. You know, what are we doing right now? We've accelerated up to 23 knots, just at 2,700 RPMs, giving us a steady speed of 24 knots. I've just done 0 trim on the legs. I haven't bothered with any trim tabs. The boat feels steady, and this is comfortable. Noise levels are acceptable. I love having this wraparound glass. I'm comfortable. I've got a little bit of air coming through the roof right now, which makes it a little bit more comfortable. It's a hot-ish day today. And if I wanted more, I could open this window just here. So let's keep that speed going, and we'll do some turns down here so you guys can come along and experience it all with us. I'll just give it a bit more speed. She feels like she wants to go. Okay, that's 2,900 revs. I'll give the drive a little bit of a trim up. That feels quite comfortable. That's giving me a speed return of 26 knots. 26 knots at 2,900 revs. All right, a little bit more speed. 3,000 revs, 28 knots. Increasing that speed there. Let's give it wide open throttle now, and I'm going to do a hard turn to port. Oh yeah, let's hold this through. This is fun. So you lose a little bit of visibility with the roof line looking around to port, but you can just dip down and see where you're going. You can see really well through the front windscreen. I'm doing that at 28.5 knots. This is quite enjoyable. And full throttle there, a little bit of trim up on the drives, and I'm seeing 29 knots. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Let's just hold that through here. We won't go too far out into the wind because my drone doesn't fly so well in the wind. Yeah, I'm seeing 30 knots at wide open throttle in this flat water here out of the wind. So we'll bring it back to a more sensible cruise speed. Going through some of the boat's waves there. Feels good. Feels like big boat stuff as you'd expect of something like this. And 29 knots, drives down. Let's do another turn. Yeah, this is big boat stuff, really. Yeah, this is good. So, what this is telling me, this boat will give you a bit of a laugh, but it will also get you where you want to go on your weekend. You know, this is a bit of a floating apartment in terms of the features it offers. It's great that it's got that internal tender garage, so you're not faffing around with folding down tenders and all that sort of stuff at the back of the boat. You really just open it up and deploy and enjoy. So when you're at your destination, whether you want to crack the roof or close the roof, set up for lunch or go out for a cruise on your tender, it really is well suited for awesome upgraded weekend adventures. So if you're coming from an M370 Riviera, if you're coming from a Sea Ray Sundance or of a smaller model, or any sports yacht, sports cruiser in that 30 to 40 foot size range is what I'm trying to say, you will see a great deal of value in this boat. And if you're comparing it with many of your other big production brand yachts in that 40 to 50 foot size range, I think you're going to enjoy this experience if you're looking for a bit of a sporty ride. If you want that 30 knots top speed and the, you know, look at what I'm doing here, 28 knots to 27 knots comfortable cruise speed. And then the ease of maneuverability that comes with joystick, and it comes with bow thruster and a couple of stern drives, then this could be you. If you're interested in this boat, follow the link coming up, or the link in the description of the video, I should say. That'll take you to our website. Get in touch with us direct. My name's Dan Jones. This has been The Boat Brokerage. Look forward to speaking with you in person. Thanks.